Sometimes close enough is, well, just not close enough. And that is where these come in, the NGT Profiler Digital Scales. Let's take a look.
9.
When it comes to weighing your latest capture, nothing makes it quite so simple as a set of digital scales. A set just like these. The NGT Profiler scales are designed to remove all of the faff of weighing a fish that is associated with the conventional traditional style scales. Often when trying to weigh a fish with conventional scales, that bouncing needle gives a rather inaccurate reading. And I think quite often we end up with more of a guesstimation than the actual figure. A set of digital scales is the way forward. This will give you an exact weight every single time. Now, as you'll probably be aware, digital scales are not a new thing and they have been in angling for quite some time. However, they most definitely have started to be perfected. And now digital scales are becoming more and more commonplace in sort of the professional world of angling, if you like. And I think the Profiler digital scales from NGT certainly have a couple of key features that really make them a good option. Firstly, let's start with the outer casing. You've got a nice tough and durable sort of plastic housing, which is designed to take a bit of a beating. Now, why is that important, you may ask? Well, if you're anything like me, once you've caught a fish and it's on the bank, everything else basically can be forgotten about. My main focus is make sure that I can get that fish sort of photographed and back into the water. Rods, reels, scales, anything else gets thrown around on the floor with very little care. So if you are like me and you are a little bit careless, you can be safe in the knowledge that these can handle the abuse. Now, while we're talking about carelessness, it's probably worth mentioning that these are waterproof. And I don't mean leave them out in the rain for half an hour waterproof or drop them in the lake and dry them off type waterproof. These can be fully submerged in water for up to 6 hours. So anything like wet hands or leaving them on your tripod outside of your bivvy overnight is going to be absolutely no problems whatsoever. These are made to stand the rigours of fishing. In the centre we have a large LCD screen that displays the measured weight and the remaining battery life. The screen is also backlit, so if you're using it at night you'll be able to see without the use of a head torch. Moving down from the screen, we've got 4 buttons. As I said, the whole thing has been designed to be super simple to use. First of all, you have got an on/0 button. Obviously that enables you to turn the scales on and then to zero your sling. You definitely don't want to include the sling within the fish's weight. So before you do that, you need to put your sling on here, zero the scales, and then you know you're good to go. Next up, we have the save/clear button, and that enables you to save that recorded weight of your last capture. It then gets put into the memory of these scales, so it will basically remind you of your PB every time you want it to. Pushing that memory button will give you access to your previous captures with those previous weights, so you can just check back if you need to. And last but not least, there is the kilogram/pounds button, enabling you to switch between the measuring units dependent on where you are. Obviously here in the UK, we'll work on ounces and pounds, but quite often over in Europe, they will work on kilos. These scales are also designed for a whole host of different types of fishing. They can weigh anything from literally just a couple of grams or a couple of ounces all the way up to 75 kilos or 165 pounds. So if you're traveling over to France and you're trying to catch a world record carp, then these have got you covered. Now, when it comes to power, you're going to need a couple of AAA batteries, but the good news is they're going to last a very long time. The NGT Profiler scales have got an automatic off function, meaning that after 60 seconds of inactivity, these will automatically turn off. In digital scales of old, they quite often didn't even have an off switch and you had to take the batteries in and out of them every single time, or you'd turn up to your session with a completely flat pair of scales. The Profiler scales are, as you can see, very neat and compact. With a height of just 22 centimeters and a width of just 10.5, these will take up absolutely no room at all in your kit bag. Also supplied with a nice neoprene sleeve just to help protect them in transit. On the top we have a steel loop to attach your weigh bar, and on the lower portion we have a steel hook, obviously for hooking on your weigh sling. This whole package has been designed for robustness, for durability. Although this is a very cheap set of scales, which we will get onto in just a moment, NGT always go out of their way to provide anglers with really good bits of tackle, and I think time and time again people are shocked at just how good the quality actually is. Now, as this is an NGT product, there are a couple of things that just come as standard. First of all, it will do everything it says on the tin, and the profile of digital scales most definitely do. Second of all, you know these are not going to break the bank. These are available from various different retailers around online, various different suppliers in stores, and these come in at just 25 quid. 25 quid for a set of accurate digital scales is pretty mind-blowing, and it's actually cheaper than getting a set of conventional scales calibrated. So all in all, you can't really go wrong. If you've got an old set of scales that have been kicking around in your barrow for a couple of years, realistically they need to be calibrated, or of course you could just go buy yourself a nice set of digital scales like these. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss out any more fantastic products just like this from the guys at NGT. I'll see you in the next one.